Okay, so this is the second part of this critique. And the idea is to see if the notes match up with the journal. Now, it's very important because if I see that you have a series of notes and your essay, your journals or your essay do not match up with your notes, I become very suspicious and I wonder, where did your journal, where did the insights for your journal or your essay come from? The whole process of doing your ISU analytical essay is for you to read your independent study books and your course novel to use the insights that you glean from your own investigations and work, and then to write an essay based on your insights. So let's take a look here. Notice that, let's get the highlight application there. Remember I said that when you're doing your assignments that you should use the same type of fonts that and same size fonts that you use in the body there. Nonetheless, it's um, I see the font itself looks like it was picked to give the flavor of the book, was sort of an Oriental Middle Eastern type of flavor. That was a good idea, very creative there. Um, but right away, taking a look, it looks as if Tara has gone ahead and read through the chapter and then gone back after having made some notes, and in reflection in her analytical notes goes back a second time and points out these things such as setting, foreshadowing, and the statement that looks in the foreshadowing, the, the theme of guilt, which is contained in the main plot of the story. Also, reflecting the narrator. The narrator is telling a story in first person and does not focus on a main character as yet. Let's clear that out. Hide that. Move on down here. Um, a good use of pointing out the extended flashback, as she had done in the journal. It's reflected in the notes here. So good. I see that the journal is rooted, at least here in the notes. Pointing out lit terms such as metaphor. Again, looking at loyalty, such as in the journal. And Tara had pointed out that loyalty would be one of the main themes there, pointing out setting. Rahim Khan, who says that very mysterious, cryptic phrase, "There is a way to be good again," in chapter 1. We have him pointed out here as Amir's father's best friend plots, the various connections that are made in there. Clear that out. Move further on down. Looking at some first efforts of characterization of the narrator. I'm sorry, not the narrator. Amir is a narrator, but Hassan. Hassan, remember, Hassan is the Kite Runner, and he is a very pure character. He's loyal, he's true, and he's totally devoted to Amir, his friend, and in a way his master. So we have a double use of flashback and foreshadowing. What I see here is that Tara has done a very good job of going through, instead of simply going through the book and giving all these just plot recitations, going through chronologically through the story. Look at all these. Look at all these different things. Now, others of you have done the same thing. I'm not saying that you haven't. I'm simply pointing out that in this case, this is a very good thing. Pointing out essential elements that are happening in that particular chapter there. So we have a characterization referred to, page 13. Also, this item where she, going back to the lit terms unit there, and your own studies in grades 9 and 10, use of hyperbole to exaggerate, show how large and dominant that Amir's father, Baba, is. But this is primarily what I wanted you to see. All these things are in here. She's only able to use a fraction of the things that she writes out here in her notes. That's okay. That's okay. But the foundation for her journal is all laid out in here. And as we go through it, let me run back up here. Let me see um, the idea of theme slash motif, the theme of loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. And so as she goes through and makes note of how many times the theme of loyalty there, it's a big deal. It's a big deal in the author's writing. It obviously had a big, an essential part of the story, the inside of the story, the motivation for writing the story. And so Tara continues to focus in on that, and that is then reflected in her journal. And that's really all I wanted you to see, how to read by making observation and analysis, to put that down, put where it comes from, and then use that as ammunition and building blocks for putting together your writing assignments. And with that, there's really nothing more to point out to you.